Hey, what's up? My name is Shay, and I would like to talk to you about Walt Disney World. So what I would like to talk to you about today is my upcoming trip to Walt Disney World. I will be going with my wife, and we will be leaving on February 27th, which also happens to be my 32nd birthday. We will be staying at Pop Century Resort for 5 nights. So this trip is going to be our second trip to Walt Disney World together. The last one we took was in November of 2017. What I thought I could share is some of our experiences from that last trip, some of what we can expect coming up in our next trip, which I will be recording and uploading onto the same channel. Some differences about this trip is last time, in 2017, we stayed at the Caribbean Beach Resort. This time we will be staying at the Pop Century. So differences there is a moderate in the Caribbean Beach Resort and the value in Pop Century. Given that this is only our second trip, we don't have any experience with the value resorts. So let's talk about some things I liked about Caribbean Beach. One thing to point out when we did stay at Caribbean Beach is there was a ton of construction. The construction that was going on there at the time, we did not realize it, but it was for the new resort that is going there up there next to Caribbean Beach, as well as the Skyliners. When we originally booked that trip, we did not know there was going to be any construction. It was not announced at all. Probably about 3 months after we booked, we were notified that there was going to be major construction happening during that stay. What they did to make amends, to make us want to stay at that resort, is they offered us gift cards. They gave us $75 per day worth of gift cards, which could be used towards whatever you want. So we got $75 per night, and we were there for 9 nights. So we got 75 times 9. You do the math. That was actually a great benefit because we got to eat so much for basically free, and that was wonderful. So at Caribbean Beach, we stayed in the Aruba section. And the Aruba section was actually one of the closest ones to the construction. Since we were at the parks most of the day, we really didn't have any trouble with the construction noise or anything like that. But it was a little bit of an eyesore. Wasn't much to complain. They had closed the food center there. So the main entrance plaza, gateway, I forget what they call it at the moment, like the marketplace at Caribbean Beach was closed. What they had put up in place was some tents, and they had like a buffet style restaurant and like a little burger cart, but we actually didn't end up eating at any of those places. We checked them out, kind of got an idea, but didn't turn out to be something that we were looking to have at the time. So something we also did on our last trip is we rented a car. We do not have a car rental plan for this upcoming trip, and we were gonna do what we can to take the buses instead. We did find that the car rental was actually a really great option. At that time, though, they were not charging for parking your car at the resort. So we could park at the resort for free. Since we were staying on property, we could park at the parks for free. And we found it to be a great thing to have, to be able to, drive easily on our own time without having to worry about the bus system and getting places late, or is it crowded. We're got to kind of keep to ourselves and enjoy that experience that way. Another reason we did decide to rent a car at that time is we also went to Universal Studios for a day, which we are not going to be doing on this trip. Our upcoming trip is going to solely be in Disney World. On the previous stay, we did not go with the dining plans. Since we were getting so many gift cards, we figured that would essentially pay for the dining, and it just about did. I don't want to go too far in depth with our last trip. So now what I'd like to talk about is what we've got planned, what's coming up. Like I mentioned, the biggest difference is going from a moderate resort to a value resort. So we have chosen Pop Century. The choice there was kind of based on pricing. We looked through some recommendations and settled on Pop Century, which looks to be a lot of fun. A lot of people have had good experiences there, so we figured why not give it a shot and see how it goes. Since we've already been before, we kind of are treating this trip a little bit more relaxed, so we're not really worried about getting places on time specifically. We don't want to kind of rush or anything like that, so we figured we could use this opportunity to test out the bus system and see if we like it, how well it works, and if it's something we'd want to do again in the future, or if renting a car is something that works out better for us. So like I mentioned before, we did not do the dining plan on our last trip, and this time around we have decided to try out a dining plan. We found last time when we went that there's not too many table service restaurants that kind of interest us and like the things that we like to eat. So we have chosen the quick service dining plan. What that quick service dining plan entails is per day, per person that's on the plan, you get 2 quick service meals and you get 2 snacks. My wife and I, we really like to share food. So we don't mind, trying a little bit of this, trying a little bit of that. So she might get a snack, I might get a snack, we'll share, we'll try different things. So we figured that that will probably be a good option for us. Of course, since we haven't used the dining plan yet, we don't know exactly how it will work out. We've done a bit of research and it seems like it's gonna be something that's gonna work out very well for us. I should mention that Disney does have a bunch of other dining plan options. There is one below, I believe, from what we're getting, and there are ones that higher that do include table service restaurants that include multiple meals. We chose the one we did because we don't think we're gonna eat that much. It seems like a lot. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So that's one thing we'll get to test out. So another thing I like to bring up is some food we're looking forward to. Since we aren't on the table service plan, we don't have any table service reservations booked. We probably won't go to any, just for the sake of money and not really paying too much out of pocket. But we do have some things in mind that we would like to do and kind of researched. The thing about the dining plan is since you've already paid for in advance, you use a credit, you want to make sure you get a bang for your buck on that kind of stuff. We've gone through some of the menus which you can find on websites like allears.net or even through the actual Disney website. They do have their menus available on there. The place we're looking forward to going to is Flame Tree Barbecue in Animal Kingdom. They have some like ribs and chicken, like rotisserie chicken, barbecue chicken, some other stuff like that. And they seem like it's going to be a really good value to have that kind of place. So we did go there before, so we do have some experience and we know what kind of food they have, and it is very good. So so we're going to give that a go on the dining plan. One thing in particular I am dying to have is the chicken waffle sandwich, which is at Sleepy Hollow in the Magic Kingdom. It's just a waffle with a breaded chicken tender inside, and it's got some sweet and spicy, I think it's actually called a sweet and spicy chicken sandwich on it with some coleslaw, and it is fantastic. If you like chicken, if you like waffles, if you like chicken waffles, you should definitely check it out. One thing I should mention about our trip is that we have used a travel agent. Plenty of Disney World travel agents out there, but having that travel agent was very helpful on our last vacation. One of the things I find best about it is that you don't have to pay everything up front. That can be a pretty daunting amount of money, and to pay that all at once, for me, it's not easy to do. So with having a travel agent, all you have to do is put in a deposit, and then you have all the way up until, I believe it's a month from your check-in date to pay that off. So once you start booking, if you book a year in advance or whatever, you have all that time to pay off. And all we've had to do is, let our travel agent know, hey, we want to pay this much, and they just, take it off of what we still owe. The travel agent we chose to use this time is a guy named Tyler. His travel agent company is called People Mover Travels. We found him through YouTube. He does mostly travel stuff, and his wife does some like beauty stuff, and they do like personal vlogs and whatnot. So we'd been watching them for a while and decided, hey, let's go ahead and use his travel agency, because he does specialize in Disney, not only Disney World, Disneyland, basically anything Disney, cruises, and a bunch of other stuff. And up until now, everything has worked out great. All I've done is email with him. I've never actually talked to him on the phone or met him in person. The communication is great. So he's always made sure to let us know the dates that are upcoming. He offers to make fast pass reservations. He offers to make dining reservations. Anything that we could possibly need or be assisted with, he's there to help with that. Now, I personally like to schedule and book a lot of that stuff myself, so I didn't really utilize that part, but the option being there is fantastic. I'm going to put a link below in the description for not only Tyler's YouTube channel, but also for his travel agency website, so you guys can take a look at that and check out his content. So now I'm going to mention some things that I'm pretty excited about for this trip. We've kind of got it a little bit planned out. We are going to kind of relax on this trip and not be like too gung-ho about where we're going or what we're doing, but we do have, you have to set up some fast passes and your dining reservations, because if you don't do those things well ahead of time, you're not gonna get to see or do the things you want to do. So we do have some fast passes set up and some kind of keynotes of where we're going on a particular day or whatnot, especially to make sure we take advantage of the extra magic hours If you don't know what the extra magic hours are, what those are is for any guest staying on property, you get a chance to go to particular parks on particular days and either be there earlier before the park actually opens to all guests, or stay there a little bit later. So the first day that we get there, we're flying in the morning. We'll get into the parks kind of around noon or the early afternoon, and we plan to go to the Magic Kingdom. At the Magic Kingdom that particular night, they're going to have extra magic hours at the end of the day. The park actually closes at 8, but it's going to be open until 10 for those extra magic hours. So if you're staying on property, you get to stay in the park and ride rides. And we found that that is a great tool to utilize because the lines go down. On the last trip when we went, we were there during some of the extra hours, and we got to go on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and it was only a 30-minute wait. Like, how can you beat that without a fast pass? So on this trip, we do have, some fast passes set up. I have been dying to go on Pirates of the Caribbean ever since we left last time, and so I made sure that was one of the first fast passes I set up, because as soon as I go there, I want to get on that ride, and I just want to do it. First day, I also have set up fast passes for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and one other one that I can't recall at the moment. Other than those couple rides at Magic Kingdom, I am super excited to go back to the Animal Kingdom. I am a huge fan of zoos in general, or at least in animals in general. So having a park that's kind of dedicated to that is something that really intrigues me. So I'm excited to go on Kilimanjaro safaris again once we go back. And I really love the trek areas. They have both of the treks are amazing, and I recommend walking through them, especially if you love tigers or even like gorillas and chimpanzees, things like that. They have it all, and it is amazing. Another exciting ride at the Animal Kingdom is Expedition Everest. We managed to ride that probably 5 times when we were there last time, once or twice with a fast pass, and then about 3 more times that we just went in a row early in the morning, which I always believe was on extra magic hours. We just rode it 3 times in a row, just bang, 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 get on, wait no more than 10 minutes. And that was a blast. I'm looking forward to riding that ride again. Other than that, they have so many different things to do, and it's so overwhelming. So I want to just take my time being there and soak up all the sights and the sounds and do what I can to really enjoy myself on this trip. So a little bit about me. I am almost 32 years old. I'm originally from California, Southern California, and I have lived in Ontario, Canada for the last 5 years. I enjoy music. One of my favorite bands is this one right here, Senses Fail. Not to be one of those hipster type of people, but you probably haven't heard of them. If you have, thumbs up to you. They are my favorite band. If you like anything that's kind of like heavier type of music, and that's kind of the type of music I like to listen to in general, among some other things. I kind of listen to some different stuff. To them, I really love music. So if you ever want to talk about any of that, get at me. I'm willing to talk to you about some music. Also a fan of a trading card game called Magic the Gathering. I'm kind of, I guess, on the nerdy side of things. I tend to enjoy some stuff like that. So if you're watching this and you have ever been to Walt Disney World, let me know your thoughts. What are some of your favorite things? What are some of your favorite rides? Where do you like to eat? Where do you like to stay? If you've stayed at Pop Century, is there any particular area that you liked? 70s, 80s? Did you prefer anything? Let me know. I'd really love to know, and can kind of share experiences once I get back. Something I want to do when we're there is try and find hidden Mickeys. So if you know any cool hidden Mickeys, where to find them, let me know. I'll check them out and see if I can find them for myself. So that's it for me. I'm looking forward to this trip. If you have any questions, comment below. I'm on Twitter. You can find me there. Tweet at me. I'll get back to you. All right. If you want to see more of my content, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.